Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen and other. We've got an issue here. So this is an unscheduled teardown. I had this connected to this little Tycon switch here out in the yard. I'm using this one out in the lab. And it was connected to the BT port on here. And somehow it triggered 4-pair power on it. And apparently this little radio cannot handle 4-pair power and it popped it. So that's unfortunate. So now I've got to tear the bastard down. So bear with me. I figured if I have to take it apart, because Thomas is actually going to fix this for me. As you guys know, Thomas is my business partner, and he's the one who does all the electronics repairs now, whereas I specifically focus on the consulting, which I kind of like that. I'm kind of done with, you know, all the high-end repair stuff, because you really have to focus on it to constantly train on it, so I didn't want to have to take this apart yet, but he's going to do a rush repair on it and fix the Ethernet chipset on it, but I have to actually take it apart for him first. So, I fucked up. And that happens. And if I fuck up, I will openly admit it. This, on the other hand, was completely irritating. Now, something interesting to note right now, actually this thermal compound is actually very dried out and cracked. That's no fucking good. When I put this back together, I think I'm going to clean off the existing thermal compound and put some fresh stuff on it, because that shouldn't already be cracked and dried out. That's not cool. So let's try to get this thing apart now. So I'm assuming that this is all press fitted onto the housing, so let's see if we can't... where do I start? Is there a screw down here? Is there a screw here? No, there's not. This is all press fitted. No screws inside of here. So it looks like we've got a... It's all clips. Where's my spudger? You know, I've got a lot of favorite YouTubers. I can't say that I have one over the other, but I love Electroboom, and I love Big Clive, and something which, when I think of spudgers, I think of Big Clive and the cool custom spudger that he has. And I was always like, oh man, I should get my own spudger made too, and it's like, I just haven't done it yet. Maybe one day. If I can justify it, I don't know. It costs a lot to run the channel, and my budget has grown a lot tighter in what I can actually afford to purchase now, so I don't know where my spudger is. What else can I use to get this guy open? Let's try a little slot screwdriver here. Okay, these are all... Oh, here's my slots. Okay, let's see here. So, might be able to... Can I pop that? Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of press fit parts on here, and of course we have to do this carefully. I do need a spudger for this, bloody hell, because I have to take this apart in a very careful manner so that water doesn't get into it. But maybe I can... I wonder if I can cheat a little bit. Just go along here. Ah! Okay, might be able to do this actually. Here. I can start it here. Oh, there we go. I can start it here and just kind of work my way up. God, I hate not having the right tools for this. But if I'm going to continue my video series, I really do have to make sure that I have working equipment. I'm not really bad at 1,000 lately. There. I peeled it off without damaging the seals on the upper part of the unit. Okay, so what I did there, you see how the clips are on this? Actually, I'm going to look over here. Okay, I hope that's not too bright. I don't like the image. I really have to work on getting the image fixed up. Fuck, I hate all this. It's so complicated. But there's little clippies along here, and they're not very intense clippies. But if you look at the way that this thing goes together, there is a silicone gasket that's glued on here, right around here. Actually, it looks like this was caulked. So I'm going to have to make sure that I reseal this when I put it back together. Because it does sit like this, so the water is going to drain downward like so. That's why it's built the way that it is, but I will definitely have to reseal this myself. There's a couple of little rubber grommets right here. So we've got a rubber... Actually, I'm going to zoom in. Might be a better idea. Boop. And let's click on focus on that. Beautiful. Alright, so there's the beam steering array. There's the actual array right there. Okay. And you can see that there is one RF lead going to it, and then there's a little power lead. So this is kind of cool. It's kind of like the IDU, ODU, right? But built into the radio. On the back here, let's see if... Can I spell the damage? No. So on the back here, we can see that we have the sticker for the board. And yes, we've got our ground, a nice chunky, look at that chunky ground on there. There's our Ethernet. And I think that's what I popped. I see some discoloration on that inductor there. There's the Ethernet chip. It's an Atheros. Atheros AR. Hold on a second. AR8035-A. I believe 8035-A, so it's an Atheros. And this is the LHG60X8. There's our nice chunky transformer there, our magnetics, our coupling. Here's our UART, so this would be your interfacing for it, like our JTAG or TTL. There's not a lot to it that's exposed. The rest of it's all going to be underneath of this. So let me get this off now. Let's see here. Get a nice little Phillips screwdriver going on here. Wrong size. I think I need a full-size Phillips. Not apparently. This one should do. There we go. That really irritates me that I popped this thing. I just got it out there. It's just a good thing that we've got a full lab that we can repair this shit. I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, like, before I had the Ignite net connected directly to the this little Tycon here, because this is perfect for my lab because I only need 4 ports, right? It's got two 2.5 gig ports, so one coming into the house to the router here, the other one going up to the router in the enclosure, and then, or sorry, I can send that up to the enclosure, and then I could take one of these guys, the BT one, to power the Powerbox Pro at the other end, and then I still have 3 ports on here to connect radios to that are on that. But I think I'm going to have to be more careful, and I'm going to have to specifically use the AT only ports to power the Mikrotik. I'm really not sure exactly what happened. I just know that it stopped negotiating at 1 gig, which really pissed me off. And I know it's my fault. It's just why. Yeah, nope. Nobody's nerfed, right? Let's see here. How does this come off now? It feels like it's fairly free. Something's holding it though. I think that there might be a screw behind here, but let's check. Oh no, that's epoxied in. Let's see if I can see behind it. Nope, it's just a heat sink, a very chunky thermal conducting pad. Okay, so that's what binds this. So this is all the goodies back here. Gotta be careful to take this off without ripping it. You can see what's underneath here. Nah. This will be the ARM64 processor. We really don't need to know much more about that. Clock. Memory, that's the RAM. There's the hard drive. Or is it? No, that is not the hard drive. So that's the memory right there. And that might be all the memory, actually. This, what is this chip? I mean, it looks like it could be storage, but the RF comes straight into it, so, or does it? Yeah, either way, there's your teardown. I'm not doing a full what chips what on it right now because I just want to get this thing up to the lab and get Thomas to fix it for me so I can continue on with the testing that I'm doing on this guy right now. And I also am focusing on getting that tutorial done for you guys on how to use the failover script that one of you guys so graciously created for the community. There we go. So I'm going to just put this guy back together. I'm just going to take it up and let Thomas have his way with it. Alright, so we'll just grab some tweezers here. But at least that's a quick little teardown for you. Just so you can see how much there actually is to it. This is a substantial little radio, by the way. This is a very well-built little board. It's very compact. Everything is just on there, you know what I mean? It's dense, I guess is the best way to put it. It's a dense board. Like me, I'm dense. go. And now the last one. Now, something else I noticed as well about the beam steering array on this is the beam steering array on this looks to be a PCB and not a ceramic mount like the other ones. And that's a little concerning because I think these guys can get fairly hot. Yeah, it doesn't have nearly as much thermal sink on it. It's just a small wafer. But I think that they're compensating for that by a lot of thermal coupling between this heatsink here and the actual beam steering array. So there is going to be one major improvement that I do on this, and that's going to be, I'm going to take some of this stuff here, and I am going to put a little bit on there. I'm going to use my brush here that I use for this thing regularly, and we are going to stick it on this side, because then when Thomas goes to work on it, he's not going to get thermal compound all over himself. Here we go. Yeah, this thing wants a lot of thermal mass, right? I'm just going to goober it on. I don't even care. This is lab equipment. As long as it's got a very, very good sink between the two surfaces, that's really what matters to me. I don't care if it's pretty. So I'll clean this off when I'm done. I'll just wipe it down and then press it together. But that'll ensure that there's a very good thermal coupling between the two surfaces, which is important. There. I don't need to paint this. Before I put it back together, I will paint this as well, and they'll just goober right together. It'll be beautiful. But the other thing that's very important now that I've had this apart is I'm going to have to reseal this gasket, and I think the smartest thing for me to do is actually to go along. Here, let me zoom this back out. Sorry. I think I'm going to have to go along here and actually scrape that off. I have to get right in there and see. I'm going to have to go through and scrape that off, so that when I reassemble it, it's got fresh silicone on it. I'm using silicone too, high temperature silicone, just because it is going to be outside in the sun. But yeah, if I'm lucky, I might be able to just peel it off. But this is such a critical portion of this device that it's properly sealed from the elements that you want to make sure you don't fuck that up. So when Thomas is done repairing this, I will... Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, gods. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of satisfying actually when it all comes off like that. I'll just finger off the rest of it, and then before I actually apply the new silicone to that joint, I'm going to wipe it down with some isopropyl alcohol. Just to let you know, just to make sure that any finger goop or whatever that may contaminate that surface that we're going to marry is thoroughly cleaned. And that will make sure that we're good. Now I'm also going to put a little mark on here to mark just how far down the silicone actually went, because it actually went quite far. It actually went all the way down to, here's the last part here. So we're going to go right there and right there. And then that also allows for water to drain out of it. There we go. Cool. All right. Yeah. God, I look like an idiot lately. Or am I being exposed as an idiot? Who knows? Anyway, we're going to take this thing upstairs now so that Thomas can repair it and we can put it back in operation. So, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. And when I am done doing the testing and the tutorials with this, I am going to do a thorough teardown, okay? It's just right now I'm so focused on getting this done. I've got a Cisco tutorial to do. I've got another Ubiquiti tutorial to do. I've got a few tutorials I'm trying to get done right now. I really need to focus on them and not get sidetracked on tangents or rabbit holes, because when you have ADHD, let me tell you what, it's very, very easy to go down rabbit holes, which I'm doing right now. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below if you want to call me a retard, if you want to call me a dum-dum or whatever. And don't forget, if you want to help the channel, please think about joining the Patreon, because it really helps pay for things. It helps pay for the editing, which actually does cost quite a bit. And it helps pay for things that I need for the channel, like switches or tools or you know, additional equipment to do testing on, like the new Mikrotik 25G single gig or dual 25 gig 1 gigabit Ethernet card that just came out. I really want to test that. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.